All right. Hi, everyone. Okay, let me see if this is all going to work. Okay. Oops. I'm on my laptop, so I'm a little bit late because I was just setting it all up, and making sure I've, got the right lighting and everything, and you can see me. And I've got all my notes and that around me. I'm just up in Harvey Bay at the moment, and I'm heading back to the farm this morning, but I thought I'd just do my Tuesday chat right here. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful weather up here. And this Tuesday chat, we're going to talk about setting effective studio routines, sort of for pastel artists, but for any artist really. Hi, Jackie. So it could be a bit wobbly on here. I'll try not to bump the. I'm got the laptop sitting on an ironing board, so it's very wobbly. So hopefully I'm not too bad with it. Okay. Hi, Di as well. So let me just trying to get my notes so I can see them. All right. And it's the 1st of October, of course. It's a new month, which is always fun. It's a busy time for me. The end of the old month, start of the new month inside the Creative Barn membership, because that's when new tutorials are released. And we also have in my free Facebook group, we have the challenge winners, like post goes up and the new month's challenge. So yeah, lots happening, always busy. But my daughter I wanted her to come up to Harvey Bay and check it out because she's maybe moving here, and she's already been offered a job she's a vet. So exciting for her. So, and also exciting for us to have her move closer. I don't have to drive to Wynnum anymore. Well, maybe we'll see. So, all right. So yes, my background's a bit different because I'm in a little unit up in the bay. So, all right. But like I said, I wanted to talk about effective studio routines. Um, so it applies for anyone, whether you're just starting out. It's a good idea to get into the habits when you're just starting out. But also, if you're further along, it's good to start these habits as well. And they're just like studio routines are things like just staying organized, I suppose. Uh, Creating a better workflow, being able to find your stuff, color swatching, all of that sort of thing, just to make life easier. And by being more organized, of course, you're going to be more productive and less stressed, and you'll probably get more creative as well. Because oh, hi, Janine, it's midnight. Yeah, staying up very late. Well done. So yeah, if you have a really messy studio, which most of us have, I mean, if you look at my studio, it's messy, but I kind of know where everything is. And when it's an old thing, you've seen it 100 times before, when someone clears up your mess and then you can't find it, but while it is a mess, you know where your stuff is. So your studio could still be messy, I suppose. Depends what you like. But as long as you know where things are and they are in their place, because that will create, like I said, less stress, more creativity, and more effective workflow, because you'll be able to find things straight away and keep working. And that also comes into inventory as well. If you're halfway through a painting, you don't want to run out of that particular color, things like that. So that's sort of what I wanted to chat about today. And Janine is on, and I'm going to share. She's very organized with her color swatching, so she's let me share a couple of photos, which I'll do that as well. So yeah, so we'll be covering swatching pastels, staying organized, maintaining inventory, and just any other little practical things. And of course, don't forget to share any ideas you have as well, or any studio routines you might do. There's probably a million of them. Some people might do a yoga session before they start painting. I don't know, there could be a daily routine they like to do before they get started even. you tidied your art room and you can't find what I want now. That happens all the time, doesn't it? I try to know what shelf things are on with mine sort of stuff, and what bag they're in, or what sort of area of the studio they're in. But I'll go into that a bit more later. So, okay, first of all, let's talk about swatching. So, swatching new pastels and materials, so that could be a routine that as soon as you buy new stuff in, you swatch it. Um, Even papers, you can make up a swatch of all the different types of papers. So like for me, it's a habit I need to get into a bit better, because I'm pretty good at putting all my pastels. Like I'll quite often rip the, like, how your stick comes with the paper on it, tells you what color and brand and everything. I'll quite often rip that off because I like to break my pastels into small pieces. And I'll share a photo. Hold on, let me just, you're gonna have to bear with me if I like to try and do this all on my laptop. But I'll share a photo of like the ideal. This is not mine, of course. I'm not that organized, but I will. Hold on. How do I share that screen? There, I think. Let me share this. I think you should be able to see. Right. Hold on. Just, oh, is it going? Just let me stop sharing for a sec. Sorry. Let's try sharing again now. There we go. Okay. So this is the ideal pastel workbox, which I feel I know Lynn Diefenbach, hers are like that, but that's definitely set up beautiful for a camera photo. They don't quite look like that, but ideally when you're working, you want your pastels to either be in a boxes like this that are color selected sort of thing. So like you'll go all reds in one section, all greens in another, then all blues in another. But ideally then go from dark to light. Some people even go warm to cool as well. It depends how much you want to really get into sort of it, that would take a very long time to sort out. But it makes it easier if you're working. So if you've got your whole palette there, like your box there, so it's like a palette, and you're working and all right, I'm using, say, yellow, but I want something a little bit more golden, then you can pretty much grab it straight away. So having your pastel set up like this is a really good, effective way to work. But that's what I was saying. I rip my tags off, the names and everything off. So when you set it up like this, if you're using all different pastel brands, then it's really hard to remember exactly what color you've used and what brand it is. I can usually, I'm getting pretty good at brands, knowing, just trying to get back to where I was so I can see comments. Just by the size and shape and feel, I kind of could tell you what brand they are. But knowing exactly the colors and that is a bit trickier. So this is what a good studio routine would be, is I create swatches. Okay, so this is on sand colored pastel mat, and I picked sand because that's kind of one of the colors I use the most. But then on the back, I just write. So this is sorry, I'll keep going. I write the brand, the color, and the number. Okay, on the back. But this sleeve is just a business card holder sleeve from Officeworks, and then I've then just put them in a folder. But a good studio routine for me, which I'm not good at, but I need to, is as soon as I buy colors in, I need to swatch them and put them in here. And that could be something, if you're feeling like you want to do something, but you don't want to start a full painting, maybe it's something you could just sit down and do, and you're still being a little bit creative. what I should do, I've just swatched in one, you know, one density of value and color. But what you could do, these are a couple of pencil ones I've done. So you could do it more like that, where it's going dark to light, like you could use a gradient. But these are pencil ones. So it was another idea I thought to have, it would take forever to try and blend all your different colored pencils together. But you can see here, there's a couple that I've blended together and I've written there, what colored pencils they are. My pastel pencils, mind you, they're Carbothellos. And then how sort of what the color looks like when you blend those two together. So that would be a very long task to go through and do that with all your pencils. But just as a basic light to dark like that of just each pastel pencil would be a good idea. And yeah, if you've got time, you could blend some together to get an idea of how those colors work. And then yeah, and it's also a good way to sort of see if you've got different brands as well, to see how they feel together, to how they feel on the particular papers. So you could swatch on your pastel mat, you could swatch on your sanded papers, and just get a general feel for them right at the start as soon as you buy them. So like I said, that could be a routine you get into, just swatching them. And then later on, if you run out of that color and you can't remember what it was, you can come back into your folder and you've got it there. So another thing, I bought this because I bought a heap of stuff from Unison. It's kind of a little secret from my art retreat people, but anyway. So because I bought a heap of stuff from Unison, I decided to get their hand-drawn color charts. Now, these were expensive, but when you think they're all hand done, they're probably not. I think this worked out around $60 Australian, but the postage alone for this would be another $60 Australian. So that's why I waited till I was ordering stuff from Unison and grabbed this as well. So I didn't have to pay extra postage. But it's lovely. I don't want to rip the paper. I'll just pull some out. So what they've done is someone in Unison, and now one of my members, Donna, she's been to the Unison factory and did a tour, and the ladies are there hand rolling them all. So another lady would be making these. So they're hand done. So they're swatched like this is only some. There's more in the box. Okay. And someone has gone and just got every single color and put it on against the right color number. And then they've laminated them in a real matte finish. So you get a really true color on there. So now I can order any Unison colors online and know exactly what color I'm ordering, because I do find when you're trying to order a color online, and a lot of the shops, they'll put a swatch up online for you to see, but I find they never really look when they arrive. They really look what they look like on the computer screen. So whereas they are the actual pastel someone has put on there by hand and then laminated. So like I said, it's expensive. It's all right because I ordered other stuff, so I didn't have to pay the postage. But if you're in the UK, these might be really handy to grab. So I think they're around £30 for the whole set. And they're really beautiful and put together nicely. If you like Unison pastels, that is. I don't use a lot of Unison because I find they can be a little bit scratchy, but they got some great colors, and it's just really handy for me being over here to be able to see exactly what colors I want and can order them, and they're true colors. So swatching like that. So that's also a great idea to laminate in a really matte laminate as well if you want to make your own swatches. from what you've got. If you don't want to, like I said, I've got mine in that business card folder. But if you just wanted to do a whole swatch thing up just on some white sort of cardboard paper and put it down and then laminate, but make sure you laminate in matte, because that's really going to help. Oh, Janine, you've got some, but they're not in a flush box. They're on bigger sheets and stuck to your wall. Awesome. Well, maybe, yeah, ones they send overseas and that they keep into the smaller ones. But yeah, what a great idea to stick on the wall. That's a good one. That would look great in your studio too, having all the color swatches there. Really nice. Okay, so I want to um also just stress that color swatching is really important because it does give you an understanding of your colors, but also like the texture and the behavior of each pastel brand as well. It'll really give you an idea of whether it's a hard pastel or a soft pastel. So that's something else you could write. Like, I just write the brand, but you could write whether you feel it's soft or hard, things like that that can really help you out. So I wanted to share Janine's how she swatches, which is pretty cool. Sorry, I've just got to find where her photos are. Let me share the screen again. Oh my God, there's so many buttons to press all the time. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So this is Janine's very organized. So there's this one and this box. So this is a brilliant idea of having a separate piece of the same color paper. So Janine's used like a grey pastel matte here, I think. And then she's also had a separate piece of grey of the same color where she can color swatch all the pastels she's used and all the colors she's used in that fox painting. And this one here, obviously, she's going to be using these colors on this one. But again, the same color piece of pastel paper that she's going to do the drawing on, because colors react differently, of course, on different background colors. Okay, so, and then also being organized in another studio routine could be organization of your, you can see Janine's got a cups here with the sponge tools in one. And probably she separates the pencil she's going to use in another. I have a plastic tray that I go through and pick my colors from my Carbothello box, and all my sticks, and I put them into a plastic tray, and that's where I know they are. Whereas I'm pretty bad at color swatching. I just put the colors I've used on the back of my white reference image, which is not probably great. It's a much smarter idea to do what Janine's doing and put them on that the same color paper so she can see how they're going to look on there. And it's great for future reference because she can go back if she's looking for a color and she knew maybe there was a certain brown she used in the fog. She can go back and look at what it was. So that is such a great idea. I also wanted to share these. This is what I've got so I don't have a big wooden box full of my pastel sticks. I used to, but I changed to these. Now, these are trays from Kmart, and they're actually jewelry trays. And they stack, you can just buy them. They're like $7 each. You just stack them on top of each other. So what I've done is I've ripped out these dividers and just kept 3 or so, just where I wanted them. I think I just kept these 2 shorter ones and moved them. So I had 3 sections the same, something like that. I can't remember now how mine are. They're at home. But I've got 4 of these trays and they just stack on top. So in one I've got blues and greens, another I've got reds and oranges, or reds and yellows, and another I've got black and white and greys. And then so I can just stack them on top of each other so they don't take up much room. They're only, gee, they're probably about 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters, something like that. But I can just, like I said, stack them so they're not taking up a lot of room on my desk. But then when I go to do a painting, I can sit them side by side. So I have all my colors there when I've got more room and I want to spread out. But to put them away, I just stack them up. And they're cheap. And you can just, yeah, I just pull those dividers out and move them around to where I wanted them. So that was, well, I forgot to, I don't know, let me, I've lost where I am. Totally. Um, share. Sorry, guys, there we go. I think I stopped sharing by just closing the window by accident. Okay, so, yeah, so that's like I showed you that photo of the big box with the pastels. That's another way to do it that is a little bit more compact. So, all right. Oh, there we go. The color chart from Unison is £45. Sorry, Shirley, I think I got, it was on special, I think, when I ordered it. I'm not sure. I'll have to, I'll have to have a look. But yeah, because I didn't have to pay the postage, I thought it was worth it. So, all right, let me find my notes again. Okay, so yeah, so that's all the swatching and organizing swatches, all of that sort of stuff. So that's sort of one main thing for a studio routine that I thought was really important. Also in the comments, I have a link to my 3-part video series, and I go through and talk about all the different pastels and papers. So you'll get an idea, if you're new to it, what sort of pastels all about papers, I think. So you'd be able to just have an idea of all the different types. And yeah, getting a sample of all different papers is also a good idea. I like pastel matte, and I'm really liking the new Hanson Velvet, but there's a couple of sanded papers I like as well, and there are so many, so it's a really good idea to experiment yourself until you find one that you really love, and then I would stick to that paper and really master it, rather than go all over the place. So, all right, staying organized in the studio, of course. So, first of all, you want to create a workplace you love because you want to be in it. So, and I've always said, I know some of us have to work on a kitchen bench when we first start out, but the main goal eventually is to have your own studio space. So that whether that's a room, your whole room, or a whole art studio, or just a corner of a room, somewhere you don't have to pack up. So that's sort of the most important thing. And then having quite a well arranged workspace as well will help with your flow as well. And make it your own, like put some things in there that you love, if you like flowers and that, get them in there, plants, candles, all that sort of stuff. So, even if you're limited for space, you could use a portable cart. I'll show you some of the things I thought of, which I've got as well. But I've got a gallery wall. If you see, usually on my Tuesday chats, you'll see behind me, got a gallery wall there where I can hang my paintings, and it just makes the whole space seem a lot nicer. I've got a wall easel for big work, which was really easy to set up. I use a tilt desk for the smaller work. Just I've got a lot of cupboard space and that, and each section of the cupboard is for certain things, so I know exactly where to go to look for something. So I might not know exactly where it is, but I know it's on that shelf essentially. So um, I'm not that organized, but I'm sort of organized. So I'll also I'll share this screen again and just let me find this. I'll just show you the storage system I have. and the storage system I would love. Oh my God, there's so many buttons when you're trying to work with Zoom and share a screen. I don't know how anyone does it quickly. Okay, so this is from Bunnings. They have all different sizes. So this I would love. I don't have it, but I think it would be pretty cool. So it's a tool bench essentially. So it's for guys in their work sheds with their tools, but it would be ideal for art supplies as well. And you've got that bench space as well, and it rolls around. So they're amazing. I always look at them. They're about $1,000. They're expensive. I always look at them when I go into Bunnings and think, oh my God, that would be amazing. Because some of these smaller drawers especially would be ideal to keep your pastel papers. And then the deeper ones maybe for different sort of art supplies. So that's my dream eventually. But I have this storage system that they're just from IKEA. So you can just they're like a tabletop. It's quite a thick, fairly strong tabletop. I think I get that 120 by 60. And then you can buy legs, and you can buy different height legs. So you can have it small or larger, bigger gaps between. These ones are 8 centimeters. So you've got 80 millimeters. 8 centimeters there. But you can get ones that are like 150 in that if you want bigger spacing. So what you do, you just buy I've got about 6 of these boards, and then they've all got legs under there at different heights, and they stack on top of each other then and creates a shelving system. So there's no sides or backs to it. They're just open shelves, but it's where I store all my papers and finish work as well sometimes. So I can I know this shelf has all my sanded pastel papers, then this shelf has all my pastel matte paper, and then this other shelf has my charcoal paper. So I just have the different papers all in those shelves, and I know exactly sort of where, if I'm looking for a sanded paper, I can go straight to that shelf. Also, I'll keep all of my finished work. I have my storage boxes that I create for my finished work, and I have some larger ones that slide in there as well. So they're a great idea, and they're not that expensive because you can slowly add to them over time. So you could just start off with a couple for what you can afford at the time being, and then add to them as you get more money. Or I was getting my kids to buy me one for Christmas. They buy me a new shelf and some legs. So you can make it work. So just little ways like that can help to declutter your workspace as well, and like I said, help know exactly where everything is. Okay, so and also I suppose decluttering your, not just your papers, but your art supplies, like I said, with your pastels, to try and you could keep them in the boxes they come in if you want, especially if you're just starting out, you don't have that many, then the box they came in is fine. I'd still color swatch, but as you get more and more, you might want to start putting your pastel sticks in that warm dark to light color swatching in your boxes, because that can help as well. So all right. And then my sponge tools, you saw Janine keeps those all in a cup. I have just a little zip, kind of like a pencil case, but it sits flat and opens sort of that way. So all my sponge tools go in there. And then because you can wash the little heads of them, so I keep the dirty ones separate to the clean ones. So I just have little containers within that pencil case thing that every few weeks I go and wash them all, and but keeping them separated, knowing which ones are clean and which ones are dirty, because if you've washed your sponges, you'll know they still look dirty. They don't actually wash and look clean. They are clean, but they still look like they've got pastel all over them. So keeping them separated is a good idea there. And then, of course, like I said, labeling your drawers and all that sort of stuff. So just organization and getting into these routines. So another one, of course, would be tidying your studio. I quite often we play barn bingo in the membership, and one of the bingos to tick off is usually clean my art studio or clean my pastels sticks is another one, and just get into a routine that maybe every Friday is your cleanup day. Um, or you might want to do it every afternoon after you finish. But, if you're not painting a lot, or creating pastels a lot, then just once a week's probably enough to go through, vacuum the floor, all that sort of stuff. So especially because pastels can be pretty messy too. So it is a good idea to try and keep everything as tidy as you can. Like I said, my studio is a bit of a mess, but my pastels they're either, like, when I finish, they either go into just a cheap frame if I think they're frame worthy. Otherwise they're stored with glassine on top in one of my storage boxes. So I try not to leave them lying all over the studio, because that's when they will end up getting damaged and, just get other things put on them and all the rest of it. So definitely make sure you're keeping the pastels um, in good places, that they're not going to get ruined. Okay. So a weekly inventory check as well. So you might not think inventory is that important, I suppose, when you're first starting out, but as you get further along and you're wanting to start more and more work, to stop getting your flow broken. You might be halfway through something and you've been using a particular color that is one of your favorites you use all the time, and then you run out, and then you've got to wait to either order it online or go to an art shop to get another one. Then if you've got backups of that, then your work's not getting stopped. You're not coming out of that creative flow at all. You can just grab the next pencil or stick and keep going. The same goes for papers as well. So if I always make sure I have um, backup. I use a lot of the sand colored pastel mat and the greys. So I always make sure when I'm ordering about 3 or 5 sheets at a time, and then I reorder again as I get down to that last sheet of the color. I then start to reorder again. So there's ways to keep, if you really wanted to be on top of it, there is ways to have an inventory supply. So you could either use, there's a few online ones. So Trello is a management app where you can add photos as well. It's free. And you could, thing is for on a computer. I use it for on a computer, but I don't use it for inventory. I use it to organize my membership, what we're creating each month. But it could be done for inventory, and also inventory of not just your art supplies, but maybe your artworks as well. So Trello is Trello, and you can upload a photo, and then you can put all notes in it. And you might want to put whether you've sold it, the size of it, the name of it, medium, all of those sort of main things. But then you might want to put if you've entered into a competition or if it's on consignment somewhere, just so you can keep a track of your art. And also, if you have sold it, if you've got the name of who bought it and their contact details, because if someone's bought your work once, they probably could be interested in the future. So it's really handy to keep track of them, and you can contact them later if you've got more work for sale. That's similar. Another good one, but it's paid, is Artwork Archive. That one is a paid subscription. I think it's around $100 a year, something like that, or 150 a year. And that's more for keeping track of your artwork, and it's really detailed in that regard. But like I said, Trello is a pretty good one. So to use Trello for you set up boards as well. So you could set up boards for your pastel sticks, your pastel papers, and have all boards there, and you just check off how many you've just bought supply wise. And when you've used one, you can cross them off. But you can put checklists and everything in there. It's a really good free management tool. Another one on my iPhone from my phone. I haven't tried it. I did just download it. It's called Sortly, so Sortly, and it has an app for your phone, and it's free for the first 100 items. But that's another one if you want to keep inventory on your phone on hand. Maybe that's another one to check out. Sortly, it's free for the first 100 products, which you're probably not going to go over 100 anyway. Especially if it's just inventory of your papers and stuff. But I don't really write mine down. I just know when I'm going to get more paper, I sort of keep a track of what I've got left. So if you want to be extra organized and you like doing all of that sort of records and that record keeping, then definitely try one of the management apps like that. But otherwise, I just look, and if I'm down to only one sheet of, say, sand colored paper, then I know, all right, I'm just going to buy another stack of a few different colors and get them in. And also, it's mainly because when I decide I want to do a painting, I want to just go straight and pick out what color I want and use it. Whereas if that's not on hand, then I've got to wait to order it, and it'll take a week or more to get to me, all the rest of it, and then I've lost my mojo. But also, because I supply the paper in my in-person classes, I always try and keep a good stock of different paper colors on hand as well for all my students. So, all right, another studio routine is photographing your artwork. So that's a routine everyone should get into. The minute you finish a piece, you go and take a good photo of it before it gets framed or before it gets sold or before you go and put it somewhere that you forget where you've put it. Always, a lot of the phones now take great photos. So either if you've got a good phone, take a photo with that, or I have a DSLR camera. So I set it up nicely, like put it against the wall with good lighting, and then make sure you take your photo parallel to it. Okay, no bent pictures like that, no distortion. So you want to take a really good high resolution one, which needs to be 300 DPI and probably be around two megabytes file size. And that's your one for doing prints or merchandise later. If for some reason you go, or someone wants you to do a magpie on a cup or a bag or something, and you think, oh, I did have a magpie drawing, I did, and you can go back through and find that. But if you don't take these photos straight away, then it's a lot of work to try and get a photo. Especially if you frame the piece, you can't take a photo through the frame because the glass causes reflection and it's no good. So it's a great habit to get into. And another thing, if you can't get a 300 DPI, I'm just trying to find on my phone. There's an app called Photo Scan, and it's just for an app for on your phone, and you can use that, and it scans your painting and saves it as 300 DPI, so really high quality. Okay, so you want a high quality one, and then you want a low resolution one. So again, the photos you take on your phone aren't probably low enough. I go into Photoshop to create a low resolution, and that one's to share on the internet. So you can go two ways about it. You can either do a really low resolution. So I drop my photos to 72 DPI, and they're only about up to 200 kilobytes. So they're really small. So no one, if someone wants to copy it off the internet, they can't blow it up. It becomes really blurry if it's blown up. And so you can't really print off them very well. So you can either do that or you put a watermark like your logo or your name across it so people can't use your work, can't steal your work for their own benefit, more or less. So that's a important routine, like I said, we should all get into is photographing our work the minute it's finished. Get your good photo and then do a really high res and then a low res. I then save those into a folder on my computer on the cloud. Mate, that's the best way to go because that way if your computer breaks, you haven't lost all your photos. So on the cloud, and then I have a folder of my artwork, and then in that folder I have more folders, one for low res and one for high res. Okay, so again, it's another routine that you need to just get into, and that's an important one, I think, because I know from experience that I've thought, oh, I'd love to make a tote bag or something for maybe I've got a market coming up and I want some tote bags. And then I remember what would make a great one. And then I go back through and I haven't got a high enough resolution photo. I've taken a photo on this when I finished it, but I forgot to take a high resolution on my camera. And unfortunately, my phone doesn't take the best high quality resolution for some reason, but not good enough for printing anyway. So then I have to try and find the artwork, and usually it's in a frame. Then you got to pull out the frame and set it up. It's just so much easier to do it straight away. So that's definitely something to get into. Let me just read some comments. Jackie has a mechanical toolbox for your acrylic painting. Nice, I'm jealous. Yeah, I think it'd be ideal for putting pastel papers in, Jackie. Jennifer's seen an open version of that sort of storage. It rolls and is made of wood, various shelves with spaces for brushes too. Okay. Eden is the name of them. Yeah, that sounds cool. Janine keeps all her pencils and pen pastels in drawers organized by color so you can see them to select from. Well, that's another idea actually, yeah, with your pencils. See, I only have the Carbothellos, so I just keep them in their case. But if you've got Derwent's, Carbothellos, Pitts, then yeah, maybe doing them like storing them the way you do the pastel sticks in color range would be a great idea as well. So, and yeah, just put the pencils you're using in a separate jar. Yeah. Don't use as Artwork Archive for your art and other valuables. Yeah, it's a really good program. I used to have it years ago when it first came out. But I found I wasn't using it enough, so I didn't bother renewing. Let me just have a look at that photo scan for you, Barb. Photo scan. I don't know if it's called photo scan by Google. I don't know. Odette's the one that here, I'll share my screen and we'll try and find it. It could be for Google as well. I'm sure it is. Let me Hold on, let me get my brain working first. Photos app. Yeah, it is. I think. Yep, it is. Hold on, I will just quickly share my screen so everyone can see what it looks like. Why can't I find it? Hold on. Oh my God. There we go. Let's try it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I've got an iPhone, but it's called, yeah, it's Photo Scan by Google, but that's what the app looks like. See the blue square in there, that out of the way. It's a blue square with a grey border. But yeah, it's really good for scanning. It takes a little bit to get used to how to operate it, but it's pretty simple, and it's yeah, really, really handy for, yeah, it is cool. And then Odette shared Minima app reduces your pixel. So like I was saying, if you want to share photos on the internet that you don't have like a watermark and name all through it, you want to just share your artwork image, then you need to reduce the pixel sizes so people can't then right click save it and then blow it up and sell it like themselves. So Odette's put, there's one called Minima, and it reduces those pixels down. Okay. So about 72 pixels is what you want for that sort of stuff. What has Shirley got? Oh, I'm just going to have a look at that in another link. All right, just change to Android with Samsung. Best photos ever. Oh, every time. Yeah, Jackie's got Samsung phone, and it does take the most amazing photos. Oh, okay. I see what you've shared there. Um, Shirley, yes, that looks pretty cool for your pencils, definitely. But yeah, because I only work with Carbothellos most of the time. I've really just got the Carbothello set, so I try and restrict myself. I would like to get a set of Derwents because they've got some amazing colors, but I find by having just a set of Carbothellos, all my students only need to buy a set of Carbothellos, and it really does make you learn to color mix because you have to try and create those colors you're seeing with just what you've got. And I haven't had any trouble with it, but yeah, if it's easier for you to have more pencils, then go for it, definitely. What do you use Logolicious app for, Jackie? Logolicious. Logolicious. Is that to do a watermark, maybe? Just let us know what it actually is that you use that for. All right, I'm trying to find my notes. There we are. Okay, I think I've pretty much covered everything. Like I said, the supply inventory list, we went through. And then scheduling studio time and creating routines with time. So, of course, encourage, like, you need to set a studio schedule, maybe, whether it's daily, weekly, or whenever you can get time, but prioritize your time for your art, definitely. You know, like I always said, everyone write it down as though you've got a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment. So, and let everyone know you've got an appointment so they don't annoy you and just go and do your art instead of, we prioritize the doctor's appointment, we don't miss it. So we should do the same with our art as well. Um, so setting routines there, as in, a regular, you might get up early every morning, or every Wednesday might be your creative day. I find we do every Wednesday in the membership, we do creative play, and we all get together on Zoom and we do gesture drawing, and then we just all work for an hour on our own pieces, but we're on Zoom together so we can sit and chat, and it makes you accountable to show up. So that's a regular studio time routine. And then I also find, because I'm doing that's in the morning, we do that, I'd make Wednesday my creating day. So that's when I'll then probably work on some other pieces that aren't tutorials or anything. They're just ones for me, or I'm experimenting with different mediums, different papers, all that sort of stuff. So Wednesdays sort of is my creative day. And that's because we've set that routine in the membership. that we all show up and do that. So I'm sorry, everything. I keep wobbling this thing. All right. Okay. Jackie said Logolicious app is where you can put your watermark. If you like to put a watermark on your artwork to upload it to the internet, then yeah, that's a good one to put a watermark on. So that's another way to try and avoid people stealing your work. So yeah, your studio time is non-negotiable. The end. Tell your husband, tell your family. All right. So another studio time and creating routines could be warm-up exercises. So even sharpening your pencils could be a routine. Every morning you get into just before you start drawing, sharpen your pencils so they're ready to go. And that could just be because I sharpen with a knife, so it's quite relaxing, I find. And it's just something like that, just to get you to I've been running around doing the shape, mucking out their pens, doing the chalks, all that sort of stuff. So when I come into my studio, it can be a way to just wind down and relax and get ready, get switched across into your creative sort of time. Like I said, the color swatching, maybe you could say to yourself, I'm going to do 5 color swatches each morning, something like that. Because sometimes if you haven't color swatched before and you've got a lot of pastels, then that could be too daunting. But if you just did a few at a time, that could be a morning routine as well. Like I said, we do gesture drawing on a Wednesday morning, but that's a great way to warm up because you are doing like all of these quick 30-second drawings. So you're just getting lines and shapes down. And it's a really good way to warm up if you're about to do actual drawing. So that would be a good one to do every morning if you had the time. And then, of course, developing routines for long-term projects. Like I was saying, if you've got a big project, to break it down, like I said, with the color swatching. But say for me, I've got my first solo exhibition in 2026 in April. So it's booked in and now I can work backwards. So I've already worked out what paintings I'm going to create for it. I've been over to Fraser Island, Gari, and taken all my reference images. I'll probably go back again and do a bit more of that. But I've kind of worked out, I've booked the room, I know the space, I know how many paintings, I need about 20 paintings to fill it. So I can work backwards and go, right, I've got this many months, how many paintings do I need to get done per month, or one every 2 months, or one a month, or whatever it is. And that's a routine for me to try and make sure I get at least one done every month, so I know that I'll have them all done by the time that exhibition comes around. Because it's a huge undertaking, and you can even break your projects down, each painting. Like I do that in the membership as well. Everyone knows if you followed any of my tutorials, I break them down into stages. So we transfer the line art is the first one, then we do the background is the next one, then I'll sometimes do the eyes first, or then we work the furthest away and come forward. But it's all broken into sections because that's how I work. I can't sit and spend 5 hours in a row doing one drawing from start to finish. I usually do a section at a time, and then I won't do the next section till the next day, or maybe a week later even. But it depends what I've got on. I just break everything down. So, and if you get into these routines of doing it that way, it makes things more manageable as well. So, all right. So I've been talking for an hour, so we're done. we're finished. Facebook's going to log me off, or Zoom is. So yeah, so setting studio routines. So we've talked about the importance of swatching and staying organized, managing your supplies with inventory, and then also making sure you're creating a routine for time in your studio as well. Okay, so I would like everyone definitely try and set a new studio routine when you sort of get back in your art studio, or think about ones you do now and maybe share them. You might have a great idea that some of us would be interested in. So share them in the comments there, or like I said, definitely try and set some new ones. I'm just going to see. Oh, no comment. Hold on. I don't think I can put a photo up. No, I can't. I'll link. I did have a couple of let me try and share my screen again. Sorry. I look like a mad woman. I found a couple of sheets on Canva that I thought might be handy, so I was gonna share those. Oh my, share screen. I'll put them. I can't add a photo in this chat by the looks of it. So I can add it in the discussions of this Tuesday chat, like this event. So this was a daily routine printout that you could maybe use if you wanted to start marking or creating a routine. So you write down here what it is. So it could be color swatching or whatever, and then you just tick off the days you did it if you want to do a daily routine. And then what was the other one I saw? Hold on, go back this way. And this one was my daily checklist. So I thought they might be handy. That might, if you like to keep a track of things, then, having a tangible piece of paper there with it written down might help out. So I will put those in the discussion so that you can just download them. They're just from Canva. So, oh yes, Janine, you best go to bed. It'll be 1 a.m. over there now. All right, guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's Tuesday chat. And Leslie's off to bed too. All right. Well, and for those who have got the day ahead, have a great day. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.